Hey everyone, I'm Zack Titus. I'm the new host of BNEWS Sports Hub. In this episode, we sit down with the head coach of Red Devil football, George Balian, and senior captains Anthony Gerrior, Chris Williams, John Mello, Tyler Vandais, J.T. Doherty, and Christian Fillios. We also have our player spotlight and our Red Devil review. That's all right here, right now on BNEWS Sports Hub. To jumpstart our discussion, we will offer you a little refresher of the team. BNews sports reporter Robert Paris has your Red Devil review.
Hey everyone, I'm Rob Paris, and this is your Red Devil review. They're back! Third-year head coach George Balian is getting his athletes ready for another season of Red Devil football at Varsity Field. The full slate of regular season games are set to go for mid-September, and the Devils can hardly wait for the return of it all. In the 2023 season, the Devils improved their record to 5-3 with wins over Westboro, Cambridge Ringe and Latin, Wakefield Memorial, Melrose, and Watertown. Burlington clinched a spot in the D4 MIAA playoff tournament as a 12th seed and competed with the Norwood Mustangs in the Sweet 16 round. They ended up taking home the victory 34-21. And not only did the Devils defeat the Mustangs, but it was the first time the team won a playoff game since 2015. We spoke with two key players that helped secure the win, running back Joey Poland and quarterback Anthony Gerrior.
Excited, man. It was a good win, team effort. We came in, we have everything to lose. Haven't won a playoff game since 2015.
It was awesome. Honestly, it was an upset in my eyes. We were ready the whole week. I know I can just trust my guys. I mean, I couldn't have done it without the guys protecting me, and then my great receivers that I could throw the ball to, so that was good.
After upsetting the 5th-seeded Norwood, the Devils had a date in Tewksbury during the Elite 8 round, where they were inches away from tying the game. Instead, the ball was fumbled and recovered by Tewksbury with a final score of 28-21. After the heartbreaking loss, we had a chance to speak with Joey Poland and Coach Balian, who emphasized that the team put up a good fight to the very end.
You never quit. Kids, we preached it all week long, all year long. You fight, you battle, and you never quit. And that's what they did. They didn't quit. The last drive proved it. We kept battling back. We got a chance to win with 8 seconds left. Just didn't go our way.
He just loves us. We love him. He came in as a new coach a year ago, and we weren't supposed to make it this far. We were not supposed to make the playoffs, and he's been great. He's a good leader, and he loves us. Last game as a senior for me. I know all the other seniors are really happy for it. We all love each other. We're going to go next game.
The annual Thanksgiving Day game against Burlington and Bedford kicked off at Varsity Field, with a variety of seniors playing for the last time. They ended up losing to their rival 34-19. 16 seniors departed from the team, and they also saw the departure of sophomore Charlie Hannafin, who transferred to Dexter Southfield School in Brookline. A couple of players who shined in 2023 will be sorely missed from their respective positions, including running back Joey Poland and offensive and defensive lineman Charlie Andriolo. Poland had a stellar season in rushing yards, and he had a total of 1,507, 19 touchdowns, and 135 tackles. He played both offense and linebacker positions on defense. In other accolades, he was named the Middlesex League All-Star, the Middlesex League First Team All-Conference, the Players Award in Football, Boston Globe and Boston Herald All-Scholastic, Shriners Football All-Star, and the Middlesex League Freedom MVP. Joey will be attending post-university in Connecticut, where he will continue his football career. Andriolo played a key role on both sides of the ball, blocking for Gary at the line, and sacking quarterbacks and covering receivers on defense. Charlie was named a Middlesex League All-Star, Middlesex League First Team All-Conference, received the Coaches Award, and was a Shriners Football All-Star. Charlie will continue playing in football at Endicott College in Beverly. And also I want to say good luck to both gentlemen on their future endeavors, as well as lineman Bobby Nivola and wide receiver Josh Pupa. Quarterback Anthony Gerrior is returning for his final year on the turf, alongside wide receiver John Mello, running back and lineman J.T. Doherty, lineman Christian Fillios, Chris Williams, and Tyler Vandais. Each of these young men were also named the senior captains for this season. Gerrior had a total of 1,417 passing yards, 8 interceptions, and 8 touchdowns. Wide receiver John Mello had 9 catches, 94 yards, and 1 touchdown during the season. During a practice, we spoke with Coach Balian about who to look out for this season.
Well, right now our skill, especially the wide receiver, are off the charts. We have like 7, 8 kids who are all #1 receivers, and we just keep rolling them in. And our skill at the wide receiver is very dangerous. Definitely being consistent, and if we're consistent, then we'll be playing meaningful games in November, and that's what I want for this team.
The Devils will have their hands full this year as they compete in rematches from last season, including 3 non-league games against Westboro, Uber Memorial in the Battle of Wynn Street, and Cambridge Ringen Latin. The league games will not begin until October, which includes Wakefield, Wilmington, Melrose, Stoneham, and Watertown, plus the Thanksgiving Day game, which will be held in Bedford. Although the official season doesn't begin until mid-September, the team got their feet wet with 3 scrimmages against Revere, Lowell, and Reading Memorial. And that has been your Red Devil Review. I'm Robert Paris. Back to you, Zach.
Here we are with Coach Balian. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
And I mean, could you tell us now that you have 2 seasons under your belt?
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Can you tell us, I guess, what you've learned about being a good coach?
Well, the biggest thing is I'm just trying to make us consistent, play consistent football week to week, and hopefully that pays off and play meaningful games in November.
You work with 6 assistant coaches, correct?
Correct.
And that includes your son, Georgie is his name?
Yes.
What have you learned, I guess, about, collaboration and working with that many assistants?
Well, it's actually great because all those guys are either former players and they all played football, so that they all have the knowledge.
Oh wow.
So it's been very good. We all get along, and the staff has been really good, and they all have great input. So it's just not my way or the highway. We all work together as a team, and it's been working out great.
Sure, it's good, I guess, to get more input, I guess, on coaching and then football strategy,
Correct,
different things.
yeah.
I guess, how do you see that impact, I guess, that they can provide with the athletes specifically?
Well, the biggest thing is the team trusts us. Once they trust us, they'll just believe everything that we say and do because we know what we're talking about.
There's actually a relationship.
Yep, and the coaching staff has great relationship with the kids, great bond and trust, and that's all we can ask for.
That's good. I guess kind of on a little bit different, what are your major expectations for this new season and for those athletes?
Well, obviously to have a winning season, but
Yeah.
like I said, just to be consistent. I don't want any peaks and valleys. I just like to be consistently, be well prepared, and like we said earlier, just have meaningful games in November.
It's good. So, okay, I guess more technical we're going to get here. Last year, the team qualified for the playoffs after finishing 6-3 in the regular season.
Yep.
So you guys beat Norwood in the playoffs, the first playoff win since 2015. I guess, what was your feeling watching those athletes in an underdog kind of setting?
Yeah, that was probably one of our best games that we played. The kids were right from the opening whistle. The kids just played great, and they're well prepared, and we had a great week of practice, and obviously Joe Poland had a great game, and we had some great individual performances by Ryan Brooks. So and Anthony Gerrior played great. So the team just fested off that, and we had built momentum, and we never looked back, and to have our first win was huge for the program and for the town, and I was very happy for it.
Did you kind of expect that going into it? Because, you say you like a consistent...
Yeah, we had a lot of returning starters coming back, and we expected to have a winning season. The kids expected to have a winning season, so it all worked out.
And from what they described, they went into it knowing that they were going to do well, perform well.
Correct.
That's good. And you told us, I guess, on the loss against Tewksbury that the team never quits.
Yeah.
Do you see that experience, I guess, further motivating these juniors and seniors?
Yeah, the preseason has been going well so far, and the kids always responded to adversity, and been preaching the next play, and kids have been responding, and it's been nice.
That's good. So you were mentioning earlier Joey Poland, right? He was an offensive leader in the ground game with 19 touchdowns last season. How do you move forward with, I guess, losing that kind of player? Who are you expecting, I guess, poised to fill those shoes?
Obviously Joe is irreplaceable. He was just a fantastic player, had a great senior year. That's why he was MVP of the league. But we have Brady Richard, J.T. Doherty, Matty Conti all running the ball now, and they've been doing a great job filling in.
Filling those shoes?
Yeah, they've been doing a very good job.
That's very good. So Thanksgiving's coming up. So before the annual Thanksgiving game tradition, 15 seniors were spotlighted with their families walking onto varsity field for the last time. What did they bring, I guess, like these seniors? How have they really contributed to this program?
Well, this year's seniors, they've been in the program for 3 years, and it's an emotional time because it's the last time they'll ever be playing football, So it's tough, and they want to put their best foot forward and end the season and their high school career on a winning note.
It's a big deal.
Yes.
So Anthony Gerrior, John Mello, J.T. Doherty, Christian Fillios, and Chris Williams, and Tyler Vandais were all named senior captains this year. Can you tell us a little bit about them and how each of them earned their spot, what they brought to the team?
The team votes on them, so that's a big honor to be voted by your peers as captain, and they've done a tremendous job so far this year, great leadership, and bringing the team together, and I can't be more happy.
Can you go a little bit specifically on each of them, or is that
they're all basically the same in all different position groups, but the team has been responding to them great. So which is instead of me talking all the time, it's nice to hear a different voice, and they've done a great job.
That's good. So after analyzing these two scrimmages recently against Gerrior and Lowell, what are you seeing, I guess, from the new team with some newer members?
Yeah, it's still a work in progress. Obviously our skill position, especially at the wide receiver spot, is very, very good, and we're still trying to piece together the line, and that's shaping up great. So I think we should be pretty good.
Good. I've been hearing a little about team spirit with the Family Trust Shop belt. Have you been utilizing that this season?
Yes, during the preseason, after every practice, we give it out. We give it out to the person who has had a great practice and call it the champion of the day, and they get to have the belt for the whole day and bring it back the next day, and we start all over again.
Wow, that's good. It's good to see that. It's definitely had an impact on the community as a whole, to be honest.
They love it.
So, if you had, I guess, for a final thing, if you had one message for this entire season, what would it be and why?
Consistency. That's all I'm looking for, is just make sure we're consistent and just play good football every week.
Do well, as you guys have been for a while. So.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So I guess that kind of concludes. Thank you so much.
All right, Zach, appreciate it.
Let's check out this month's Player Spotlight with lineman Chris Williams.
I'm Senior Captain Chris Williams, and this is Player Spotlight. My first year of football was actually freshman year, and it's just been a blast ever since. First big game, Westboro, looking forward to it. A little bit of a drive down, but hopefully it'll be a good turnout. He's a funny guy. He can be, if you don't know him, you might think he's scary, but he's a real funny, genuine guy. Great coaching too. He understands how different players might need to learn something a different way, and he's just a great coach.
This year, leadership, his off-season workouts in the weight room has been fantastic, and the team has followed his lead. He has tremendous leadership this year. That's why he's one of our captains.
Well, I love working with the captains because I know them for a while, and we all deserve the term captain, I believe. We're all great leaders, and we all care for the team. The younger classmen are great. They listen, follow instructions, they don't goof around or anything. It's just a great team. Gerrior, honestly, I think he's like the best person on the team. Like, he really cares about everyone individually. He takes the time to learn every position. If you ask him, I think he could know like what I would have to do in a certain play. He just really understands what it means to be a quarterback. Like, he's the guy. My main goal for this season is honestly to beat Woburn. I mean, I think the crowd will be insane for that game. I believe I think it's gonna feel like the Tewksbury game from last year. I'm just gonna miss the teammates as a whole. Like, after we graduate, maybe we might not see each other for a while, and that's just gonna sting. Because as football players, we like see each other as family, really. Because you're outside working all day, and it's a big family.
Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for doing this interview.
No worries.
So yeah, tell me, I guess, how it feels to be in this kind of leadership role as a captain of a pretty major sports team here at BHS.
I think it's good. We obviously there's 6 of us, so we all have a similar role, and we think it's important. On a good football team, you need to have good leadership. So it comes down to us and how we lead the team and the decisions we make as role models for the younger guys, and
Good.
Yeah, I agree. It all matters what we say on the field and like helping pushing them, making them better as football players, and then just as better people as well.
I think we all bring our own different aspects to like the leadership role, and we're all different in our own ways, but we do the same job together.
It's good. And I mean, yeah, you guys are all like the people that they look up to. So as you've been chosen for the senior captains, what specifically are you guys bringing to the team this season individually?
Skill-wise, or from a leadership standpoint?
Probably leadership, like organizational stuff.
We want to bring winning. We want to bring whatever will help us win. So we want to be, like I just said, good role models. Lead the team with, like Coach always says, don't put them down, but bring them up. Like, don't call them out, call them up, which I agree with. And just the little stuff is what's important. Stuff.
Yeah. Off of what Gerrior said, it's about bringing a winning culture, making the team better, and pushing them. We have a lot of experience here, so we can guide them on their way and just make a culture better for the kids.
With all 6 of us, I think we just add different types of ideals, beliefs, motivations, and just bring a team, good team.
And I mean, I guess there is a lot of pressure in that kind of role, would you say? Or would you say that's more of like a good thing?
There can be a lot of pressure at times, especially when practices or just the vibe of the team's just down. It's our job to bring that back up.
Yeah, it's on us. We can't be the if we're having a bad day, we can't take that on the practice, because then that gives like the rest of the team the right to mess around. So we every single day have to come to practice with a purpose, wanting to get better, showing that we care. If we show that we don't care, then that just people look up to us. So then they're not going to care. They want to do what we want to do. So it's just one of those things. You gotta always be thinking about that stuff.
Yeah, there can't be up and downs. You just got to keep it straight and just not let anything get to you.
Like, do your job every day. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yep.
Now let's get into, I guess, some of the more game-based stuff. Last season, so from what I see here, the team proved to be a playoff contender even on the road, and you defeated the Norwood Mustangs 34-21.
Correct.
Going into that game, what was it like, I guess, in that situation to be the underdog?
Obviously we were the 13 seed. I think they were the 4 seed, so not a lot of expectations for us to win. We believed, we had the MVP of the league at running back. That obviously helps, but we had all the pieces. Obviously we were injured. He got severely injured. We were missing our guard Fillios. We were out with a few injuries, but we just never gave up, and there was literally nothing for us to lose. So if we lost, we weren't expected to win. So we went in there. That was the most fun I've ever played in a game. It was so intense. It was just like, that's the definition of high school football. It's beautiful.
Even that week, we didn't practice like we were the underdogs. We had a lot of confidence going into that Norwood week, and we went in there thinking we were better than them. We knew we were better than them, and that we just weren't a 13 seed, and that we were better than those teams that we played.
Wow.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, we just knew that our only job was to go out, have fun, because when's the last time we were in the playoffs? It's been
2015, I think.
Yeah, it was a
Something
long
something
time.
like that.
It was a long time. So we
I
just
don't know
wanted,
the exact day.
we just wanted to go out, have fun, and go for the win, and we did.
So it's been doing well. You project like a good season this year?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I think if everything goes as planned, we will have a better season than last year. You know, we experienced a pretty decent run in the playoffs, so a lot of us are experienced. Obviously, we graduated some key players, but for the majority of our team are returning players, returning starters that have been in, you know, like intense games. So it's like it's gonna come natural, but I believe.
Yeah, there was a lot of up and downs last year, but since I think we have so much experience with our leadership and stuff, like it will make us not have those up and downs, and we'll just be good at all times.
I think our biggest strength is how young our team was last year. Like everybody got in at the playoff game, and they're all starting now this year. So I think that's our biggest strength. Everyone's experience this year.
That's going to be good. Now it's kind of, I guess, like to Thanksgiving, and I mean that's coming up. Obviously, I think Thanksgiving's pretty late this year, from what I've heard.
Yeah, I think everything's pushed back.
one day.
Well, yeah, we start a week later, so everything's pushed back a week.
Pushed
so
back a week.
I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
Dynamics.
So, I guess since it's such a big tradition, Bedford came to Burlington last season, and Senior Day was held that morning.
Yep.
Seeing those seniors walk onto the field for the last time last year, what was going through your minds? I mean, seeing those seniors now being in that position where you're...
You know, in the moment, you're just thinking, that's us. You know, high school flew by, so it's a crazy feeling. And, you know, we have our first game against Westboro, first game as a senior. So it's starting to kick in that, you know, it's going to be our last time playing as a group. And it does suck. But, you know, that's why we're going to make the most of it. And we're going to show people who we are this year.
Yeah, like what Anthony said, it's crazy to see like all those guys in that position, but knowing that that's you next year is kind of crazy, but you know, got to go out there and be great.
I just know when the first game ends, it's going to go by fast, and I'm ready for it.
That's
I'm ready.
good.
Thanks, Chris.
So I guess, I mean, that's mainly it. Do you have any, like, I guess, advice you want to share to your teammates or anything you want to close off with?
I think my best advice would be is just to enjoy it. I didn't think I'd be here this fast, and here I am, sitting down with BCAT, and it's just gonna. I know it's gonna go by super fast. Just take it all in, game by game, practice by practice.
Just to like do it for the seniors, because like this is our last time, and like they should like to care about the team. Like it means a lot, even if you don't think so, because you have more time than we do.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, it's our last season, but not just for the seniors, for the young guys. Don't take a single moment for granted. Like, every practice you come in, you should just try to get as good as you can, because you only have so long to get good. And if you really care about the sport, which a lot of the kids on the team do, then, you know.
You never know you can get hurt also.
Yeah,
so
that's another thing. So it's like, you just got to be prepared. You got to, if you care, then care. If you don't, then it's fine. But
Definitely.
Very good.
Apps, yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for this interview. You guys did great.
Thank you.
What do you guys want to do?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
1, 2, ready, go. Gonna pull the stops, gonna make it go. You're living on a wing and a prayer. Gonna put them things together. You know it's now or never.
Thank you guys for being here.
Of course.
Happy to have this interview. How do you prepare for like a new season, I guess? Working out, practicing drills, anything you recommend?
Yeah, especially this off season, we worked a lot in the weight room. We had a great program with Coach Sheridan and Coach Balian, and we did a lot of field stuff, worked on our speed, you know, went over plays and stuff like that, and you know, just tried to get ready for the season.
Yeah, I agree. We definitely had a big emphasis on the weight room this year, getting faster, getting stronger, getting more explosive. That's a really key point, especially in the off season if you're not doing another sport, getting in the weight room, getting stronger.
Yeah, being bigger and stronger is definitely a big part of it, as well as also just being with the team during the off season, building a good bond with each other.
I guess that makes sense. How do you guys feel about being in this like leadership position? Captain is a big deal, I'd assume.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I've been looking forward to my whole life. I always wanted to be a captain. Last year, I stepped up as a leader on the team a little bit. Even though I wasn't playing that much, I kind of spoke to the team a lot. And, I feel like it's a good thing. It's a lot of pressure, but it's definitely a good thing to be.
Yeah, it's definitely very honorable. Last year I was injured, so I didn't really expect it. I was definitely trying to become a captain, definitely be trying to become a leader, but to be able to be in this role, work with the other guys, it's awesome.
It's definitely a good role to be in. It's honorable, but it's also pretty important how we do, because how the team does reflects how we are as leaders.
That's good. You had Coach Balian since you all were sophomores, I believe, right? Yeah. What have you learned specifically through him about this with him as your leader?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Balian has definitely taught a lot of things. He's a great schemer, but I think importantly he teaches us how to play the game right. He teaches us to be tough, fast, and physical is what he always says. And I think the important thing is that maybe you do your job wrong and you do the wrong thing, but as long as you go out there and you play tough and physical, it still impacts that team, and it can help you win the game even if you just go blow something up that you're not supposed to go hit. It just sets the tone and changes the momentum.
Yeah, I think Coach Balian's definitely taught us a lot. One big thing I take away from it is mental toughness. You're going to make mistakes. It's inevitable. You're going to have good plays, you're going to have bad plays, but as long as you do it, like Melo said, 100 miles per hour, and just doing it with your boys, there's nothing else you can do better. So that's probably a big thing, mental toughness.
Something Coach Balian's taught me a lot about football is kind of perfecting your craft, but mastering the small details first and getting just a little bit better every day.
So I guess on that then, Coach Balian is your coach as well as 6 other assistant coaches, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Who have you guys worked with as well? Who do you like to, credit to your success in the high school football world?
I was a DB up until, still a DB, but I was a cornerback last year. And Coach Rabs was my positional coach at cornerback, and he really helped me develop my game a lot. I was really just more athletic and didn't have the skill set, and he really taught me the skill set. And then also Coach Georgie, Coach Balian's son, he's the receiver coach, and he helped with skills and all that too. So a lot of my game comes from them, and yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to say a big thank you to Coach McDonough. He's taught me a lot. I switched positions last year from guard all my life to playing tackle, which is a little bit different. I definitely think he'd helped me adjust a lot, taught me a ton of different things, and just made me a better player overall, and I'd like to thank him a lot for that.
My 2 positional coaches over the last few years have been Coach Balian as well as Coach Forrester. And my main takeaway from him is that linebacker is one of the most aggressive and violent positions on the field, and you kind of have to be a little bit crazy when you go out there and play, and you have to have the mentality that you're going to go out there and hit somebody every play.
I see. How do you see this new season shaping up with changes to the lineup?
Yeah, we should be great. We lost a few guys in our senior class last year, but we have young guys that are ready to fill that role, and especially the grade under us, we've been playing with them since we were 7 years old. So
Really?
that brotherhood is there already. But we just need to build it a little more, have trust in the guys next to us, and we'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think it'll go our way this year. Like Mel said, trust is a big thing. Like he also said, we've been playing with these guys since we were little kids, since first, second grade. So being able to play with them, also big family aspect, big thing Coach Balian's on, just brings us together, and I think we'll have a good season with that.
I really like how our team is looking this year. There's a few people who it's their first year starting, but I think we have a good enough bond where we can teach each other and build off each other in practice. And I think we'll definitely see a lot of that in games, and I think we'll be really good with that.
I mean, that obviously I think that would be just a very good thing to have that kind of like synergy as a team, right?
Yeah.
How will, I guess, the running back position be a factor in this year's offense? How do you see like the defense shaping up overall?
Yeah, I mean, losing Joey's a big part of our game. We ran the ball majority of the game last year. So, you know, we're looking at 3 guys to fill it. We got J.T. and then Chris O'Divin, and then we have Brady Richer stepping up to fill those. I mean, those are big shoes to fill.
Big shoes to fill,
yeah.
from what I've seen.
But, yeah, I mean, the good thing about those 3 is that it's very versatile. Like, J.T. can just go and run somebody over if we need a few yards. Chris, he can get outside and run up the sideline if we need a big play. And then, you know, Brady Richer's pretty good receiving back. So, you know, we can do a little more with less, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think we're very more well-rounded. Like Mello said, Chris can get outside real easy. JT, can run somebody else over. And Brady's just great. He's really shifty. So I think that'll bring a lot of depth and a lot more versatility overall.
I think we'll be pretty good at the running back position this year. Me and Chris O'Divin learned a lot from Joe. I think I matched his play style pretty good. But we also have a very good quarterback and receivers, so we can throw the ball a lot more, which I think will be a big part of our offense this year.
And I guess, like, on that strategy, I guess, like, can you talk a little bit, you mentioned, I guess, a lot of, like, the family aspect, the game aspect. I mean, you guys have all been playing football for how long?
This is my 9th year, I think, so, yeah.
I think I started in 1st grade, so probably around my 12th or 11th.
I think I started in 4th grade.
Wow. So I guess what has been your favorite part of it and what led you to stick with it?
Yeah, I mean, in youth, we were definitely a tough team. We lost a lot, and I think just like being with the guys and just being able to just go rock somebody, because I mean we didn't do a lot of winning when we were younger, but it was definitely a good way to, like, I don't know, take out your anger on somebody else, I guess.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it definitely helps. Losing a lot definitely shaped us. I play on the line, so it gets pretty aggressive really quickly. And I think just losing a lot and, you know, knowing that, you know, you never have the next opportunity, you never know about next. I've dealt with lots of injuries, so not the best thing, but being able to go out, being aggressive is probably going to be a key factor, and that's one thing that I'm really grateful for ever since I was a young kid bringing it up.
I've played lots of different sports, but I would say the thrill of playing in a football game is something that you don't get anywhere else. And also the brotherhood and the relationships that you build playing football with somebody for however long.
That's definitely, I've heard that's probably one of the greatest advantages, and then being able to be where you guys are and just look back on such a good career.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess when you are looking back on the career, what are the big takeaways you'll bring into your next steps of life, meaning college or career or whatever you guys are planning with?
Yeah, I think discipline is a big part of the game that you can bring into life. From youth all the way up through high school, you need discipline. You need to be able to know your job and just do it. And even when you don't want to do it, you have to do it. And I think that's a big part of life, and I think football teaches that lesson and teaches you just to go out and do things that you have to do even if you don't want to.
Yeah, I would definitely say, like, doing something tough and getting a reward out of it, and trust. I mean, working hard. You know, football isn't an easy sport. It's very aggressive. You're going to get bumps and bruises, or you're going to get injured. It happens. But it's how you deal with it. Every day going to practice, it's hard. It's hard to do it. And trust-wise, I mean, you have to trust every other 10 player on that field, because if you don't, it'll go bad really, really quickly.
I think Melo said it pretty perfectly with discipline, but something I would add is grit. You know, just being able to pick yourself up after every single thing that happens. And sometimes things get really hard, especially in football, but you have to be able to keep pushing and keep going.
Both literally and metaphorically.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that kind of wraps this up. Do you have anything else you want to just close the interview with? Anything you'd like to say to your younger teammates?
Yeah, I think definitely build the brotherhood now. There's, when I think about it, it's like when I was out there last year with Josh Pupa, I could just come down and make a big tackle. And if I didn't make it, I trusted him to make it because he was right behind me, And I think that bond, you could have the two best players in the state that don't trust each other like that versus two guys that do trust each other. And the guys that trust each other are going to beat them every time just because they have so much trust that, they can just do whatever they want. They can play free and,
Yeah, no, it took exactly what I was going to say. I was definitely going to say the trust aspect, building bonds. I remember learning a lot from Charlie Adrillo, who graduated last year. He taught me a lot about being gritty and, picking yourself up by the bootstraps when something goes wrong and working hard for it. Also, staying healthy in season or out of season, always working out. Don't get injured, work hard, and everything will pay off.
You definitely don't have as much time as you think. It's going to fly by before you know it. And I would say as quickly as you can, get bigger, stronger, faster, build better relationships, take care of yourself, be a student of the game, learn as much as you can, and things will go your way eventually.
It's awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much, man.
That's all for this episode. I'd like to thank my guests George Balian, Anthony Gerrior, Chris Williams, John Mello, Tyler Vandais, J.T. Doherty, and Christian Fillios. I'd also like to thank you all for watching. I'm Zack Titus, and we will see you next time on the Sports Hub.